one quite interesting. Second one is trusty old cotton bud abuser, not user, abuser. This first one's really interesting because it's often described these as a fake eardrum. Now it looks nothing like an eardrum, obviously. But what you can see here, this is right on the lateral aspect, the bit on the furthest away from the eardrum. Trying to explain it then, the bit nearest the outside world, you know what I mean. Anyway, what's happened here, this is the fine end tube here. I quickly realised that it wasn't giving me enough oomph there, so I changed it for the full size tube. But this lady's come to see me and she's describing a lot of hissing, feeling quite muffled, and just lost that clarity in hearing, and this is why. Because what's happened is, most of you regulars will know this, the majority of earwax in most cases is dead skin. It's skin that sheds out the ear and the eardrum, the top layer of the eardrum. It's constantly shedding, trying to escape out the ear, so it's designed to move sideways. Now what's happened with this one here, as the skin has moved sideways along the ear canal in an attempt to get it out, when it's got to the outside, say this is the outside, it's either from the top to the bottom of the sides, it's kind of curled downwards, or it's got there and it's curled upwards, and it's kind of met in the middle, or it's just one sheet that's come down that and then just completely formed a perfect seal at the entrance to the ear canal. So that was what was causing all the symptoms. They'd gone by this point already, because we've already cleared it. And you'll just see the eardrum in the distance. Can you just see it down there? There it is. How the biggest it is, it's quite narrow. But what's happened is, whilst we've cleared the blockage here, we've still got this relatively thick layer of dead skin in there. Wasn't keen on having oil in rear, this lady. It's fair enough, not everybody does, because a lot of people, when they've put oil in, they remember it seems to make everything worse, which it sometimes can, because the wax plug can absorb it, it can get bigger, you're basically filling up your ear more than it was before. Some it just changes the consistency, and it can even slide down further into your ear, making the problem seem worse. So sometimes I would have put oil in that and then peeled it away with a suction tube, but we used the forceps in this, and it worked quite well. So you can see that thin sheet, can't you? So it's quite tricky to get the forceps into a small ear like this. I had to go quite deep down as well in a bit. I didn't get a good enough grip then, I should have gone a bit further down to get behind that. And the reason why I'm trying to get this, you're probably thinking the hearing's restored now, which it was, all the problems fixed. But if we don't get rid of this, the same thing will probably happen again, which it'll get to the exit of the ear canal and it might just grow downwards or grow upwards, and again you'll get that perfect seal on the end of the ear canal. You don't see it that often. I maybe get 2 or 3 of these a week that comes in where that does happen. I actually see a lady at home who it happens every 6 weeks. Unfortunately for her, we've tried all kinds of things to try and manage it and try and prevent it, but it just keeps coming. You know, I give her a discount, it's not her fault. It happens so often, it's not fair. So yeah, here we are, trying to get a decent grip on this. Like I said, this is a bit deeper than I ordinarily go. Not a big fan of putting forceps in the bony part of the ear. There's one little slip, and the patient would know about it. The patient would know about it. I don't think you might have heard on the audio. The lady said, "Oh, feel that." It wasn't particularly painful at all. She just said, "Oh, I can feel that one coming out." Long tail on that one, and you'll see why. Just at the tip there, that bit was quite still attached to the base of the ear canal. So you might just see a little pinky dark area just at the base there, and that's where that's been just pulled away. Right, next one. Have a guess what you think has caused that. This is quite deep in the ear, this. It wasn't a huge blockage, but the problem is this lady's put a cotton bud in. She fully admitted it, and I think she only did it once as well. She was struggling with the hearing once and just poked it in there, and you can see it's pushed it right down in front of the eardrum, quite deep this. And then it's just smushed it against the side there, And that's what I decided to do first, was to try and peel it away from the side, and then hopefully that should loosen it up, because it's loose on the other side. She's only pushed it against this vinyl wall. So I figured as soon as I loosen that, it should just wobble a bit, loosen, pull it out. A bit trickier than I thought it was going to be, actually, because there's no perfect flat edges on this. It's a bit jiggly jaggedy. I don't even know if those are words, probably not. So it's hard to get a flat seal, but it comes out in the end, spoiler alert. But yeah, these things, they're not for putting in your ears. You're probably thinking, why do I have these? Now sometimes when we put olive oil in here, we just use them to gently wipe the excess away. But it even says on the label, not to be inserted in your ear. Or your nose, in fact, it says on that. But having said that, I did have 6 cotton buds inserted into my nose last week. So I think, why on earth have you done that? When I take my son, my youngest son, to the barbers, we go to these Turkish barbers. And Turkish barbers, they do more than cut hair. They'll even say they'll remove earwax, a lot of them. They don't. I've seen them blowing fire into people's ears. Please don't do that. They give you the razor, the cutthroat shave and what have you. I've had that done in my head once. That's quite unpleasant. But the wax your nose, and I'll tell you how that goes. You've never had that done. You ladies, you go through waxing, don't you? I have every sympathy for you now. And then when we get a bit older, we tend to grow hair in places where we don't really want it. I prefer a bit more on my head, but what can I do about it? It is what it is. Yeah, so what they do, they get I think you needed 3 for mine because it was particularly bad. They do get quite a lot of hairs in there. And I used to pinch them out with tweezers. But they get tickly. There's no medical reason for removing them, but they just get tickly. So what they do, they have this melted hot wax, they dip it in that, and then they shove 3 up like that. And then 3 up in there, and then leave it for about 5 minutes. And then he comes from behind you, grabs you out, says, right, you ready? And he yanks them out like that. And you see the big forest on the end of them. You try and hide how much it hurts. You do that man thing, it's fine, didn't feel a thing. When inside you're going, oh my god, that was horrible. Anyway, I've digressed a little bit there, as per. So as you saw, this bit finally loosened, and it's just taken a bit of persuading to get it out. I don't think I've got an image of this one. But it wasn't much anyway. It's just where it was that caused the problem. And then you can see a very lovely looking eardrum, that one. See a bit dry around.